This is John for NetVPro, bringing you another informative video on how Veeam works. In this video, we're going to walk through setting up a replication job in Veeam Backup and Replication 9.5 Update 3. Did you know that NetVPro is a Veeam Cloud service provider? If you're interested to see this in action in your environment, give us a call at 888-902-3250 or email info@netvpro.com for more information. We offer 3 data centers in the U.S. to meet all of your backup, replication, and cloud VM hosting needs. There are a few prerequisites for this video. You should have Veeam Backup and Replication 9.5 Update 3, version 9.5.0.1536, installed on a dedicated physical PC with redundant storage, RAID 1 or better. You should also have a VMware vCenter or ESXi host where your current virtual machines live, and a VMware vCenter or ESXi host that's available to replicate to. Let's get started. I already have Veeam Backup and Replication open. Let's take a look at the host we'll be replicating to. Click on Backup Infrastructure in the lower left of your Veeam program. You should have VMware vSphere listed under Manage Servers. Expand that to see what hosts you have available. We have a few vCenter servers available. For this demo, I'll use this host. At the upper left of the Veeam program window, click Home, then choose Replication Job, and choose the hypervisor you have. I'm using VMware, so I'll choose that. The new Replication Job window opens, and we can name the replication job at the top of the window. I usually name the replication jobs using the name of the VM that I'm replicating, followed by REP. You can add notes about the VM you're replicating, or the job, or anything else below under Description. Below that are some options. Low connection bandwidth. This option enables seeding. You can get a copy of the VM on portable media and bring it to the replication site, and copy it there ahead of time to speed up the initial replication. That way it only needs to move the changes that have happened since you took the copy. You will need to map the replication job to the location where the VM copy is if you choose that selection. Separate virtual networks. This enables network remapping. Different IP addressing scheme. This enables re-IPing, so if you're moving to a different IP scheme, we can re-IP within the job, so you don't have to do it manually after each replication. For the demo, I'll select all of these so we can take a look at the screens each of them gives us. Notice that selecting these options adds windows to our setup on the left. After you choose the options you need, click Next. In the Virtual Machines section, we choose which VMs we want to add to our replication job. Click Add on the right and browse your environment to choose the VMs you want to add. When you have selected your VM, click Add. The VM shows up and tells us the size of the VM. You can exclude virtual drives by clicking on the Exclusions button. Look at the lower right corner to see the total size for all of the VMs you have added to the job. Since I'm only adding one VM, the total size matches the size of the VM. Click Next. On the Destination window, we select the replication target. Click on the Choose button on the right. For the demo, I'll choose VMware. Browse to the host you want to replicate to. Then click OK. You can change the other options for the target once you have selected it. I'll leave them as is. When you're done, click Next. Here is one of the options we selected on the first screen, Separate Virtual Networks. Click Add to map the current network to the network at the replication target. Note that if you did not select the Separate Virtual Networks option on the first screen, this will not come up. I won't make any changes here, I'll just click Next. Here's another option from that first screen, Different IP Addressing Scheme. Click Add to make changes. It pulls the info from the VM for the source side and we supply the info for the target side. Again, I'm not making any changes, I just wanted to show you this screen. On the Job Settings screen, we'll need to choose where the metadata is stored. These are changes to the server that we are replicating while it is being replicated. Once the replication is complete, those changes will be incorporated into the replicated VM. Your options are any local repository that you have set up in Veeam. Under Replica Settings, we can append the replica name if needed using the default setting of _replica and set the number of restore points we want to keep on the target side. The Advanced button in the lower right corner has other options you may want to use: compression, block size, notifications, post-job automation, and more. Click Next to continue. The Data Transfer window has options for how we will transfer data to the replication site. Proxy selection is at the top of the page. If replication jobs show proxy as a bottleneck, you can add a proxy server to take the load off of the Veeam server on the source side or the target side. For now, I'll go with the defaults. If you are replicating locally, use direct transfer. If you are going off-site using a slower internet connection, you may need to consider upgrading your Veeam license to Enterprise Plus and using WAN acceleration. WAN accelerators are VMs at each end of the replication set up to do block comparisons, and if the blocks match an existing block at the target side, the source won't send it, resulting in a much faster replication. I'm not making changes here, so I'll click Next. Seeding is another option that I chose on the first screen, so we can take a look at the options. We can seed from a backup repository ahead of the first replication or from a copy that we copy to the target location. If we use a copy, we need to map the job to the replica we have copied to the target side. Choose which option best suits your situation and select the appropriate info. If you're doing replica mapping, add the checkbox next to Map Replicas to Existing VMs, then highlight the VM, then click Edit. You will be shown the target host, and you can drill down to the VM you want to map to the source VM. That way, only the differences will be transferred on the first job run. This speeds things up considerably. Click Next. The Guest Processing screen is where we choose to do application-aware processing. This is important for SQL and Exchange servers, among others. What this does is it truncates SQL and Exchange logs so the operating system of the VM knows that they have been backed up. I usually do this in backup jobs, not replications. Click Next to continue. Here we are at the scheduling screen. We can choose to run the job automatically and set up the days and time that it runs. We can also set automatic retries if the job fails, and set a window for the job to run in and to terminate the job if it exceeds the backup window. Generally, I don't use the After This Job option because if the job hangs for any reason, the next job doesn't start. If you have a few jobs, this can be problematic. I find it best to set up a runtime for each job. Let's take a quick look at the backup window settings. If you want to disallow a job from running during production hours, here's where we do that. I'll enable the window settings and we can configure a window. Add the check mark next to Terminate Job, then click on the window button. Click and drag the time you want the job not to run, then click the Denied radio button to disable the job from running during that window. For this example, I'll choose to disable the job on weekdays from 8 to 5. Click OK when you're done making changes. Click the Apply button to continue. We're at the last screen now, the summary screen. Review the job settings, then decide if you want to enable that job automatically by adding the check mark next to Run the job when I click Finish. You can go back and change any options that you want to, then step back through to this screen. Click Finish when you're happy with the job settings. Did you know that NetVPro is a Veeam Cloud service provider? If you're interested to see this in action in your environment, give us a call at 888 888-902-3250 or email info@netvpro.com for more information. We offer 3 data centers in the U.S. to meet all of your offsite backup, replication, and cloud VM hosting needs. Again, this is John with NetVPro bringing you another informative video on how Veeam works. Thanks for watching.